2019. Mountain Dew GSL Season 3. Code S. Reversal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are just in time for our losers match here in Group G. Going to be our first mirror match and only a mirror match of the night. Gumiho versus Fantasy.
Now, the question is, are we going to have about an hour and a half left of our broadcast, or are we going to have 3.5 hours left in our broadcast?
I didn't go to the bathroom before this. It better only be about 1.5 hours.
You messed up.
Oh, I done goofed.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gumiho unexpectedly, I think, in the losers match, right? Nobody was thinking he was going to end up here.
Yeah, I did think these two were going to meet.
Really?
I did think they were going to meet.
Just not in the losers match?
Just not in the losers match. I thought it would make a lot more sense if Gumiho, like Deer, I thought Deer was going to win. I thought Gumiho was going to win. I thought Deer was going to win again. So they would play.
They would have met in the decider match.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The rubber match.
So first map, Acropolis. You know, it's always tough with a mirror match, I think, to really pick a map.
Yeah, the maps are a little bit less important in a mirror matchup. There's only so much you can do to abuse it as a mirror match.
I am looking. It looks like we'll get into game number 1 though on Acropolis. Oh, yes. Okay, now. Wait, now.
And in the top left-hand corner, the blue Terran player.
Pixel 1. Fantasy.
Or Gumiho. That's also his other idea.
Okay, all right. All right.
This is going to be a tough one, isn't it?
And in the bottom left-hand corner, in the red.
Psystorm Gaming.
Close enough.
Gumiho.
Bottom right, bottom left, same thing.
Are you kidding me? Okay, so
It's okay, it's okay.
true fact, I didn't go to first grade as a kid.
Oh.
I was one of those annoying kids, and I skipped from kindergarten to second. So, I'm fairly normal otherwise. You know,
That's like the only
as close
thing you
to
need as a caster,
But
too.
legitimately, in first grade, I found there are 2 things that I didn't learn. One is how to jump rope without doing double bound in the middle. Like, you learn how to jump rope quickly in first grade.
Sure.
And you also learn how to quickly tell the difference between your left and your right. So I messed that up, I'd say 50% of the time. It's like a coin flip for me. Like, as a guy who did a lot of marching band,
Just say in the bottom, then.
Think. Pro tip from experienced caster Jake, just say the bottom. Figure it out.
You can't be wrong. They're not gonna be like, well, technically, technically you're right.
Oh, geez. It's that and then locusts and vipers. For some reason, I call those 2 units whatever the heck I want to. I cannot tell them apart for the life of me.
Me neither. I don't build either of them. That's the meme, right, guys?
Okay.
Hilarious. So, both getting CCs, Rax, Reaper, everything is very standard. They're both mirroring. Sometimes we see people get a little bit of a later CC and a quicker factory, which is totally fine, a little bit safer against proxies and stuff like that. But I don't think either player thinks they're going to do a proxy Rex on Acropolis.
No, definitely not.
As you can see, there's a supply depot already blocking the Reaper spot for Gumiho, so he's basically pretty safe against that anyways. This could be annoying. Sneaking the SCV is going to go and attack the CC SCV.
Yeah, that'll slow him down just a
Look at
little
that.
bit. Nice play
This
by
is a
Gumiho.
Protoss move. He's learning from the Protoss.
He's picking up from his previous
Look at the
games.
Reaper came home. Yep.
Oh, wow. Yep. Going to delay him just a couple extra seconds here.
Oh,
But the Reaper... Oh, nice.
yeah, this is a little bit of a micro battle. If he can get this SCV,
Blood for blood.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh.
Oh, there's a little bit of a mistake.
You're
might lose
kidding
it.
me. Whoa.
Oh, okay, that's a huge mistake.
Fantasy. The collapse from the studio going wild here.
Huge mistake from Gumiho, rather.
All right, we're joking. How big of a deal is that really?
Not if he loses this one. It wouldn't be a big deal at all. He's going to get it.
Whoa.
Oh, my God. Okay, well,
Man.
not a big deal at all is the answer.
I got all excited. My heart rate got all up. I was doing some exercise here in the chair and no dice. Nothing at all.
It would be pretty annoying, though, otherwise. It might still be annoying now because there's 1 Reaper and there's no Reaper for
That's
Fantasy.
true. Fantasy adding on a starport.
Hellions are going to kill this. Look at he's getting out. He's like, oh, God. Those are a lot faster than I thought.
You can hear the final bolts getting screwed into those Hellions as they pop out of the factory.
I like that as soon as he saw the reactor, he's like, oh, God. This Reaper might die here. It should die, rather.
Yeah.
It's just going to lead them on into like a random area so that
just distract him as long as he can.
at least they're not attacking the SCV line.
Okay, so first big changes coming out in these builds. We see Medevac on the way from Fantasy.
The Cyclone, though. Cyclones are so good against what the plan is for Fantasy. It looks like he's going for Hellion Drop. If the Cyclone is well placed and there's a bunker at the Nat, the Cyclone could totally kill this Medevac.
Yeah, Gumi's going to shut that down instantaneously. Now, Fantasy already is out on the map just a little bit here, so it should be hit very quickly. The Medevac just popping out now. But yeah, I think you're right. Gumiho should be just fine. Cyclone into the main.
Somebody unplugging and plugging back their mouse.
The medevac should be just fine. Pardon me, Gumiho should be just fine against medevac drop.
Yeah, it depends, because there could be a little bit of a mind game. Imagine you send the medevac in the main, right? And you run your Hellions through the net, and there's nothing in the medevac.
That would be certainly be a mind game.
But he's not doing it. That would be insane. My mind would be literally
Oh my god,
blown.
the Cyclone already there. Gumiho reading his mind. He's got one of those waiters at that bistro in the middle area, spotting
does
for
he do
him.
my build, my plan? I don't think he does. He's going so far.
Oh, he could be repositioning him up there.
The thing is, he's waited too long already. Like, you have like the small window where it's really strong. It's going for double Cyclone drop.
Oh my gosh, Gumiho is saying, oh, hey, dropping mech units in your main base? That's a great idea.
Do you think he, okay, he might go for it. Do you think he might hunt down that medevac too?
Do you just run these 4 Hellions right by the full bunker?
The boost, the other medevac boosts immediately towards the Cyclone, or the Hellions. Look.
Yeah.
It's a little late though.
So Magfield Accelerator coming out from Gumiho, and 3rd CC on the way for Fantasy.
I like Fantasy's build more so far, because there's nothing you can really do to hit a timing against Fantasy, right? Like you can just build tanks and chill. Whereas Gumiho's kind of taking a little bit later 3rd. He's getting the faster shooting Cyclone ability. I don't know what it's actually called.
I think that's Terran Tinder, isn't it? Tanks and chill, siege tanks and chill.
Tanks and chill, yeah, exactly.
Magfield Accelerator, by the way, the name of that upgrade.
Yeah, I'm not very good with upgrades.
One of my first. You're good at actually playing the game. Okay, so a nice drop here from Fantasy, actually. Should roast a few of these SCVs.
This is really good.
The Cyclone's out of position. That medevac just getting called back. And oh my gosh, those all still alive.
Oh, he
immediately
disables it.
Oh, disables it. Gets one of. Is going to pick.
He's going to get both. He's going to get the medevac too.
Beautiful. Oh my god.
And the Hellions are still out. Okay, he might lose his medevac, but that's totally worth. 8 SCVs go down.
Absolutely. 8 SCVs. 4 Hellions. There it is. I don't have to do the math myself. Thank goodness. So about twice as efficient there for Fantasy.
Here's the thing too. The 3rd CC is later. Double engineering play. We actually see Bio though.
Whoa!
We're gonna see Fantasy play Bio against Gumiho's mech.
I'm
excited.
Love my Beck versus. Let me try that again. I love Mech versus Bio. I tried to call it Beck versus Mayo.
Beck versus Mayo is my favorite matchup as well.
That's a beer, and then it sounds like an Australian new wave singer, Mayo. Okay, so yeah, Mech versus Bio.
Mech versus Bio is so intricate. I always play Bio as a Terran player, and every time I play Mech, I feel like I'm playing against a brick wall.
Okay.
It's the most obnoxious thing ever.
Well, yeah, those siege tanks get dug in. It's so hard to move out, even with Stim.
The thing is, this doesn't feel like the same style of mech I usually play against. This is more of a mobile mech. And I feel like Bio is generally really good against low tank numbers. If it's like a low tank mech count, like let's say a heavy Hellion, heavy Cyclone or whatever.
Okay.
Marine tank or Marine Marauder tank is really strong.
Interesting. Well, let's see what Gumi does. He's got a couple Vikings coming out already, 2 at a time from that starport, and he is cranking out a tank as well. His 2nd factory did just finish up.
56 workers to 49.
Yeah.
I don't know what scouting we got with the Hellions. I'm not 100% sure if Fantasy knows this is mech like fully. There's only 2 factories.
That's a really good point.
And only 1 starport?
Wow, that's so many Vikings already out for Fantasy.
He probably has his assumptions either ways. He either scouted it fully already and I didn't see, or he can just assume because it's Gumiho.
Sorry to harp on this point. Fantasy with 4 or 6 Vikings out already and 2 more on the way.
Yep. This is the most important thing about Bio versus Mech is air superiority.
Sure.
If the Mech player has air superiority, you basically can't do anything. Yeah. Like there's no window. Okay, that's an interesting scan because you see a bunch of Marines and tanks.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know already, this might be a little bit confusing.
Yeah, that might mislead him a little bit. Gumiho dropping double armory, so he is going to be on top of the upgrade game, just barely ahead.
Yeah, Fantasy doesn't have combat shields yet either.
Oh,
so
no, he doesn't. Oh,
okay, that's bad.
Losing a big battalion Marines there. Oh, there's nothing back home to defend against this, though.
The Vikings are close, though.
They're
like right here.
Oh, yeah,
they're right with the tanks.
The bottom corner. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so
this is dead. And
no,
only killed 3
yeah,
workers.
no cloak. Well, 5 kills. The disable from the Raven. That's cute. I've got so much Raven energy. I can disable your Banshee. Try getting away now, baby.
I think the most important thing to really know, because I really wish we had like the ability to talk to the observer,
right,
is to know if he knows it's Bio or Mech yet.
Yeah.
He scanned randomly, which is a little bit strange if you know it's Mech already to scan like that. Okay, there's another scan.
Middle of the map, but not going to see anything. Yeah. I'll try and keep my eyes on the mini-map, but our viewers back home can do the same.
Okay, here we go. They were checking. I don't think that factory was like that. I don't know.
No.
It's hard to say. Oh, it's only 2 factories still. This is so strange to me.
Yeah.
And we're not adding on more earlier.
And a 4th CC?
Okay, now we know it's Mech.
Yeah, there it is.
Like a bunch of tanks, no Marines whatsoever. You're like, okay.
So Gumiho with a 4th CC, is that just for the mules? Is he just desperate here? There's no way he can defend a 4th location,
he doesn't need to drop it yet. He's just going to chill. He's tanking and chilling like we talked about.
Siege tank and chill.
There's a lot of reactors as well for someone who knows they're playing against mech. Like, normally you want to add on some Marauders, because Marines are really bad against tanks.
Of course. But, man, he's still got 9 Marines. I don't see any Marauders in his build.
I'd love to see a second starport, too. Yeah, second starport would be so sick, because if you get your air advantage and then you go into Liberators with Vikings against mech, it's so strong.
Just destroy siege tank lines. That would be really smart. Let's see if he's
All right,
playing the
now
same 4D
this
chess
is
that you are.
undeniably
You see
mech.
2 factories being built, 3 factories being built.
Okay,
You go, all
immediately
right.
starport go down. Immediately 2 starports go down.
Wow, okay, yeah. So again, I think Fantasy listening to our cast. We're
He didn't know until now, because as soon as he scanned and knew 100% that it was mech,
changes.
he immediately throws down the starports, which makes total sense, right? Air superiority being so important.
Absolutely.
He's going to make it really, really hard for Gumiho to take another base as well.
Yeah. Ooh, Fantasy putting pressure on the low ground here.
Nice.
The structure is complete indeed. Okay.
So this is just going to be really annoying. Like, where do you take your 4th here? You don't want to take the top 4th. It's too spread out for
There's
mech.
no way you expand it.
You want to take this 4th, but it's kind of hard to take it now.
This Viking number from Gumiho looking really scary. I don't know if there's enough
shot off here.
Yeah. Ooh, trying to draw that bio into under siege tanks maybe. But man, that bio ball looks dangerously small for Fantasy compared to the number of Vikings
That's
that
okay
are there.
though, because we have so many starports.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, he's adding on 3 starport, 4 starports?
Yep, it's time to go mech, kind of. We're not going mech, we're going battlecruiser Viking. We're doing everything. We're just going
Sky Terran, baby. Oh, beautiful.
It's so important that Gumiho knows this is coming, because then he can also do this. He needs to match it, or else he's going to lose.
Right away, yeah. In those big Viking fights, as soon as you get like 5 or 10 behind, what can you do, especially with the massive production that Fantasy's putting on right now?
Yeah, like so far this doesn't look like that. If you're Gumiho and you see this big bio-marine tank army, this looks really standard. You can't really tell how many starports are at home. It's not like we see a million times more Vikings, which you would if you had 4 starports.
I'm really liking Fantasy's tactic here. Just staying out on the map, staying active, keeping Gumiho back home, and preventing any of that scouting.
But we may miss our last train. Because this game could play out really slowly. I don't see either player committing to an attack at any point in the future. It either ends abruptly with like a massive Sky Army versus a non-existent one, or it draws out really long game. Like imagine Battlecruiser Viking.
That's
games.
okay. We get paid triple if it goes into.
I wish.
Wait.
I wish.
My production director's telling me we don't get paid triple if it goes into overtime.
Yeah, that's okay though. We get paid in games. So actually, does the game just end here?
Oh my
We're
gosh!
way out of
No
position
way!
here.
Yeah, Siege Tank's not up here for Gumiho and Fantasy.
All the SCVs are
pushing
here too?
forward. Oh my gosh! But breaks that bunker. All the Siege Tanks on the low ground starting to leapfrog over each other. Are you kidding me?
Fantasy was not expected to just win here, by the way. There's no way.
Definitely not. Maybe putting on some pressure, but this is incredible. The Vikings getting better shots
This
off your
game is
bio
over.
under the Vikings. He's disabled those 2 tanks as well.
I can't believe he just walked in. Like he's
What?
been posturing this army around for like the entire game, and then randomly he's like, you know what? It's time to go.
Let's poke in here at the second, and then just hits the gas. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
like
and the funny thing is, Fantasy did not want to kill him here.
No.
He had a million starports at home.
He's prepping for a massive battle. He's got
Oh, you
Liberator
know what he
range
might have
on
been
the
doing,
way.
actually? He might have been ready to trade some of his army to get more
to
Sky
make that
Toss
supply.
or
Sure,
Sky
sure,
Terran.
sure.
And then he just won the game.
Oops. Oops, I
yeah,
won.
GG.
Oops, all Siege Tanks. And Fantasy gonna take game number 1. What is happening?
Yeah, that's crazy. Gumiho's got to be feeling a lot of pressure right now. Down on the ropes.
Man, I think that's just straight vodka in his water bottle to calm his nerves, man, at this point. Oh my
It
gosh.
should be. I mean, what a game. I don't really feel like Gumiho made too many mistakes besides that last fight either.
Right.
Like their styles clash in a weird way, and Fantasy didn't really pick up on it until late point anyway, so it wasn't like he was really being abused by any means.
But then the instant transition there from Fantasy, I mean, the
That made
shift
sense,
here. Yeah, it
right.
was beautiful. Just as soon as he saw it, shifting over
we
from
didn't even
that
get to
bio.
see the transition though.
He set himself up so well, showing that he still has like a really good mental command of where he sits in this game.
Yeah,
So-
so I'm sad we didn't see the 2-hour game. But I did think that would how it would either end immediately, like I said,
Right.
or we would see a longer game.
Do the trade and go into that Sky Terran like we were talking about earlier. So you're
Right.
Gumiho, you're 3 games up, you're 3 games down. What prayer are you saying right now?
I don't know. I hope I win.
I hope I win. That sounds like a great prayer
Yeah.
for any player. All right, guys. Regardless of what he's praying for, let's go into game number 2.
Fight!
In the top right-hand corner with an amazing attack.
Pixel 1 Fantasy.
He's almost smiling. Look at that.
I would be smiling if I was him. Imagine you playing Armani. You're like, ooh.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, in the red,
Storm Gaming. Gumiho.
Hope he's not feeling the pressure. It's really hard to not get in your own head at this point. After losing to Armani and being down 1-0, it's really hard to stay out of your own head. Plus, he sounded a little bit shook in interview and in person. So
well, every time we talked to him in the interviews, every time the interview we saw, he said something like, I'm a little nervous. After my performance, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little shaky. I'm not quite all the way there.
You can be the best player in the world, but if you are nervous in matches, you're not going to be the best player in the world. You need sheer confidence. You need innovation level, Mario level, Sarah level confidence.
Right.
To be a world-class player. It's so important that you're mentally in the right position.
Which is so interesting because of our 4 players here today, I feel like Gumiho has a dearth of experience out on the stage. He's been doing this for ages now. He hasn't done his military service.
GSL.
There's not a big gap in his his record like these guys like Fantasy and
Armani?
Armani is the player I was looking at. I only had 4 names to choose from and I totally blanked.
Wasn't dear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gumiho, really interesting psychological position that he's got to be in here. 0-3.
It's just so important
in
to
the round
not
of 32.
psych yourself out, not think about the fact that you are down 1. Just play your game. It's really important that you're just playing the best game you can possibly play. Even if you lose, then at least you feel happy about your loss. It's kind of hard to say like that, but if you lose a game where you truly played your heart out and you knew you played the best you could, it's not the same as losing a game you knew you could have played better, or you knew you could have won.
Or if you just cheesed and you were like, whatever, let's just see what happens.
Sure.
You can't feel good about that one, right?
Yeah, well, I like that. That feels good when I do that. But sure.
Okay, so Gumiho looks like he is going for something pretty standard here. Both players just expanding out, getting those factories added on.
Right.
Again, setting up for a pretty good mid-game play here.
Yep. Nothing's crazy. Looks like we might see a Banshee.
Yeah, Tech Lab is finished there.